Hey guys, it is Admin. Welcome to the start of a new series on the channel. I'm calling the series the WASD Datapack Survival Series, and that's because we're going to be playing survival with my datapacks. Currently I'm playing by myself, but in the future I plan on turning this into a patron-only server. So anyone supporting me on $1 or more a month would have access to this server. But for probably the first 10 minutes or so of this video, I wanted to go into what I've currently gone and done, and a little bit into what our goals are, and what datapacks are actually installed. So let's look at the datapack list first. Now, you might have expected me to just install all of my datapacks, but I decided, especially for performance reasons, to just install my favorites, and not install any ones that have mobs. So here's the list. We obviously have our magic meter, but we have magical rings, we have the boomerang, we have claw shot, then we have the shields. Some of these are here mostly because the performance impact is negligible, such as the shields and the hammers. Villager names as well. It's a nice little pack, but it doesn't cause too much performance issues. We have the swords data pack, the block breaker and placer, redstone devices, machines, more apples, and that is the list currently. Now you might notice redstone devices. This is a pack that has yet to be published, and the machines pack contains a bit more content than I've published, as well as the swords data pack. So on here I might have some packs that are yet to be released, or content on them that has yet to be shown to the public. So I'll be going over those probably in episodes, and you have that to look forward to. As for the goal of this series, I'm wanting it to be a survival playthrough, but I'm wanting to rely pretty heavily on my own data packs and try to utilize them to their fullest. So for the machines data pack, I'm going to be trying to automate things that are normally not automatable with the machines added. So we'll probably have a gravel and sand farm in the future so that we can produce concrete. And I'm also wanting to set up an ore processing unit using a block placer, a crusher, and a washer. I think that could be pretty cool. I'll also, of course, be using all sorts of different swords, trying different ones out, messing around with them in a survival setting. And I want to be using the redstone devices I added. Again, you probably haven't heard of this pack, but essentially I added some new redstone devices such as a wireless transmitter and receiver and player detectors or mob detectors. So resources wise, how far am I into the actual game? The answer to that is not very far. I have an iron set of armor, a fair amount of logs, but just a basic diamond tool. I do have a silk touch pickaxe, which is okay. And then valuables wise, I have 15 diamond ore because I spent some time mining off camera. You guys don't need to see that. And a decent amount of ores, but I'm not very far right now. I don't have fortune, so I don't really want to mine these yet. What I do have though is the fortune 3 enchantment in my enchanting table, so I'll need to grab some levels. Again, I'll probably do that off camera. And then I can get that. I have a bunch of junk resources, not organized. And I also have some rings. If you haven't seen the Magical Rings data pack, I would highly suggest checking it out. It is one of the more popular packs that we have, as it is quite useful and fits nicely into the game. Let's take a look at which ones I have so far. I have some useless ones like the ice-proof ring, the lightning-proof ring, not particularly useful. Even the bomb-proof ring is pretty useless. I have some really good ones though, like I have an armor ring, tier 3, I have a Pegasus ring, green ring can be pretty good, Zora ring is really good, and the heart ring is okay. The Zora ring is really good for getting new rings because it allows me to swim underwater forever and actually see shipwrecks. and shipwrecks are a pretty good source of new rings. Alright, so now you should understand pretty much where I am in the game. Not very far, like I said, but I just wanted to get some of like the starting grind out of the way. I'm on a huge mushroom island, as you can see. It is exceptionally large. It keeps going and going. Now, my plan is to make our base here because mushroom islands are a great place to live, as I'm sure you're aware of. However, I'll probably be removing the mycelium at some point, which will prove to be a grindy task. But it should be fun. I was doing some experimenting because when large spruce trees grow, they cause podzol to grow around them. And I realized that this could be used to replace the mycelium. Mycelium cannot grow back towards podzol, which essentially will allow me to claim land. I'm not quite sure how useful that is for saving time. It might just be faster to just build over the top or tear it all out with a shovel. But I've done a little bit of this in the past on a Minecraft server where I replaced the whole thing with grass. It did take a while and the island was smaller than this, but we'll see if I'll get around to it. Alright, and as for plans for the future, any more data packs that I do work on will probably be added to this. I plan to be updating my data packs in accordance with what I think could help this series to become better. I have some machines that I'm wanting to add that I think could make this survival gameplay quite fun and exciting. Plus, I think this series could be like an interesting sort of tutorial on how to actually use my data packs in a survival setting. So, suppose I make a machine using the crusher, I'll probably show you the build process and my thought process behind it so that you can get a better understanding of how you could do that in your own survival world. So, what are some things I'm going to try not to show you in this series? Well, no mining, no resource gathering, and very little gameplay. And by gameplay, I mean general stuff that every Minecraft player has to do, no matter what style. So, I'm not going to chop down this tree on camera, none of you want to see that. What I may do is say, I'm going to chop down this tree. And just like that, the tree has been chopped down. So, probably I'll try to cut out the more boring parts of the game and show you guys the interesting stuff. I do also only have a small window in the day when I can actually record, so it might end up being a bit jump cutty of me being like, okay, here's what I did. Here's what I did. See? Cool. Rather than like an active showing the process behind it. But, of course, the goal is to make it entertaining for you guys, as well as somewhat educational in nature. I might at times also go into an explanation on how the data packs actually work. Speaking of that, let's actually make ourselves some swords. One of my goals in the series is to create every sword in the actual swords data pack. I think I prepared some materials for this, so I have 4 different swords that I want to craft. They all, of course, are unique. So let's create the Glowstone Sword, the Quartz Sword, let's see, the Cursed Sword. Here's the Cursed Sword. We have a Glowstone Sword. We have a Quartz Sword. And we have a Magma Sword. And yes, if you are observant, you'd obviously notice these are all Nether resources. I have spent some time in the Nether grabbing materials, so I figured these would be pretty easy to actually create. If you haven't already, I would check out the Swords data pack showcase itself. I did a better job probably explaining them than I will here. However, let's check out what the swords will actually do. So, we have the Cursed Sword. It deals 13 damage, but it can backfire and deal 6 damage to myself. That damage is dealt with instant damage effect, meaning my armor will not block any of it. So occasionally, I think 1/6 of the time, I will take 3 hearts of damage. This will probably actually be worth using, as it allows you to 2-hit kill mobs, but if I enchant it, I think I'll have to use an anvil to do that. I could probably get it to a 1-hit kill, which would be pretty powerful. Alright, the Glowstone Sword does a bit less damage than my Iron Sword, and has a slower attack speed. As you can see, the recharge that appears right there is a bit slower than this. So probably don't actually plan on using this, as it really isn't that useful. I also have a glass sword, which can cause bleeding. This actually does a lot of damage, but because it does it over time, it's probably worse than an iron sword. But I mean, it's made out of glass, pretty cheap material. The magma sword might actually be worth using instead of this iron sword, because it still does 5 damage and it can deal fires. But if I go to the Nether, I should definitely use the Quartz Sword. It is really powerful in the Nether. As you can see, it says it doesn't have a damage. That's because in the overworld, it doesn't deal damage. Only in the Nether will it deal damage. So, let's actually go try that out while I go grab some XP. And I should probably start organizing this terrible mess. But I'm not going to yet. It is pretty disorganized. But let's see, I don't need to bring my diamond tools with me. Yeah, okay, this looks good. Let's head to the Nether. Alright, so in a Nether fortress where I can show off the Quartz Sword. Probably not a good idea for the Cursed Sword, as I don't really have good regeneration abilities yet. But they haven't been playing very nice, so this is kind of not the first time I've recorded this clip. But let's see, I don't really need blazes right now. I'm kind of wanting to show this on a mob that will actually like fight me instead of just flying away. So I'll probably let you know when I find one. There we go, we have a wither skeleton. Let's smack him. And as you can see, it's going to be... Wow, that was lucky. Well anyway, 2-hit kill on the wither skeleton. The Quartz Sword doesn't actually increase the drop rate or anything, but yeah, we just got really lucky. Let's rush down this blaze, kill him, and this is a very weird Nether fort. Anyway, I think I'm going to probably take this and might as well grab the Nether wart and then get out of here, because no need to stay. But that's the Quartz Sword. I think it could be pretty useful, honestly, but only in the Nether, which I don't know. I think that's an interesting way to do some balancing, is making it only work in the Nether, not working outside of it. But anyway, as we leave this fort, I just want to say, if you've been following like how I like to develop things, I tend to try to give everything an upside and a downside. So that makes it so that there's always a reason to use something, but there's always a reason not to use it as well. So in this case, the Quartz Sword is quite powerful, but because it's not... Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Well anyway, because it's not powerful in the overworld or the end, it means that there's a reason why I can use it, but there's also a reason why I can't. I can kill nether mobs with it, but I can't kill anything else with it. And so that makes it balanced. The Cursed Sword is another case where it deals 13 damage. That's massive damage. However, the ability to backfire means that it's probably not the wisest to use. Of course, some of my other weapons, like the XP sword, are just straight up better, but because of that, they are expensive. I think it requires 8 more diamonds than normal. So that's my philosophy, and I still cannot believe that I just got 2 withered skeleton skulls. So looks like we might have an early beacon. Of course, we won't have the blocks for it. But I'm actually going to, when we do the wither fight, I'll probably be wanting to craft an end crystal sword. End crystal swords deal 1 damage, which then becomes 2, and then 4, then 8, and then 16. It's exponential. So against like a cow, it takes 4 hits to kill it. But against the wither, it takes 9, I believe. So yeah, it will be an interesting wither fight. Anyway, I'm going to put my stuff away and get it all sorted. I just realized with all of that luck, I didn't actually get what I was going to the Nether for, and that was level 30. So let me quickly go back, mine some quartz, and let's do this enchantment. Mining the quartz, singing the song. Wait, I'm not Korean. What am I doing? I don't... No. I don't sing. Oh, so being in the Nether reminded me of a question that some of you are probably going to have. Are you going to be playing this in 1.16, and what are your plans to do with the Nether? I'm taking a page out of Hermitcraft's book to pretty much play in the overworld and then reset the Nether when 1.16 comes out. So, that's my plan. Let's now jump to that enchantment. Alrighty, and here we go. Let's grab Fortune 3, and okay, I'll take it. I would have wanted Unbreaking on there, but I'm not going to complain. And so, it's about that time to end off the episode. So let's finish it by fortuning these 15 diamond ore. Anyway, if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want me to continue this series, please hit that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot, and I will see you guys all in the next video. So, thanks for watching!